Hi everyone, this is Ms. Granger. In this video we're going to talk about Lesson 5, Expansion and Isolation, focusing specifically on Russia. As usual, you will do what it says when it says has the little Pear Deck icon, and when there's the paper icon, you'll respond on your paper. Let's get started. First, I'm going to read what I need to do on this first slide for the Pear Deck. There's only a Pear Deck item here. There is no paper item. So I see that I will be dragging the dot to the timeline for when Ivan the Great came to power. So I'm going to listen for this name. Here we go. The origins of the Russian state go back to the late 1400s and the rise of Prince Ivan III of Moscow. Ivan III, also known as Ivan the Great, came to power in 1462 and began to conquer lands around Moscow to build up his strength. Over the next 2 decades, Ivan the Great continued his conquests. He tripled the size of Moscow's territory and made it the dominant power in Russia. He also began to call himself Tsar, the Russian form of Caesar. So now that we've read that, drag the dot for when Ivan the Great came to power. You're going to put it down here on the little timeline. You'll see that here is the year 0, here is 1000 BC, and it goes up from here. So place the dot on the timeline. You're going to have to estimate, and that's fine. Pause and do that now. I see that I have a Pear Deck question on this next slide and a paper question. I see on Pear Deck, I'm going to explain who was Ivan the Fourth, is how we say that. Ivan the Great was the third. This is Ivan the Fourth. So who is he? And on my paper, I'm going to be listening so I can fill out my military row and my political row. Remember, military is anything that is kind of overtaking or using physical strength or weapons in some way, and political has to do with the government. Here we go. In centralizing power, Ivan IV, Ivan the Great's grandson, also worked to strengthen the military. Ivan IV expanded the training of Russian soldiers to include skills such as engineering and gunsmithing. These developments laid the groundwork that enabled the formation of a permanent infantry force, field artillery force, and combat engineer corps. The key word here is permanent. These things did not, military forces did not just pop up during wartime, but they were there permanently. Ivan is best remembered, however, as a cruel tyrant who terrorized Russian society. Midway through his reign, or rule, he became obsessed with threats to his leadership. Ivan established in Oprichnina, a territory directly under his control, in an attempt to further reduce the power of those who opposed him. So first explain who was Ivan IV here in the Pear Deck, and then fill out your military row and political row. For military, you're probably going to want to look at this first paragraph where we talked about strengthening the military, and political, you can also use the second paragraph talking about Ivan's rule as a leader. Pause and do that now. All right, on this slide, slide 22, I see I'm going to draw on the timeline to represent the years, plural years, that the Romanovs were in power. So I'm going to be highlighting like a chunk of time on the timeline like so, but it needs to kind of, make sense with the text. So let's read it and find out. In 1613, however, a new Tsar, Michael Romanov, came to power. The Romanov family would rule Russia for the next 300 years. So pay attention to these dates. This will help you with your timeline. Notice that the timeline starts at 0 and goes up 1200, 1400, 1600, and so on. Okay. Under the Romanovs, Russia continued to expand its empire. It moved east, taking the lands of Siberia, a huge portion of the Asian continent, and extending Russia's borders to the Pacific Ocean. Siberia was rich in resources, including furs, as in like furs from animals. During the 1600s, Russian colonizers settled in Siberia and established a lucrative, or very successful, fur trade. Pause now and highlight on your timeline. On this slide, 23, I see I will be drawing a line from St. Petersburg, which is the red dot up here, to the places that Peter the First traveled. I also see that in my paper, I will fill out the expansion column. Let's read. Peter the First, also known as Peter the Great, and Catherine the Great, Their rule marked the golden age of Russia's Enlightenment, kind of age of big ideas and open-mindedness. When Peter took power in 1682, Russia was still largely isolated from Europe, but Peter was determined to open Russia up to the west. He took a long journey through Europe and France, through England and France, to absorb new ideas. He visited factories and museums, and even worked for a time in a shipyard, making boats. He returned home with plans to transform Russia into a modern nation. So now that I know where Peter traveled, I'm going to find that on this map and draw a line from St. Petersburg here to those two places. I'm also going to explain briefly how did Peter I expand the empire, expand ideas for Russia. Pause and do that now. This next slide, I see that there's no Pear Deck. I just have a paper item. So I'm going to be filling out the cultural row on my paper. Let's read. Peter, the same Peter, built a modern new capital named after himself, St. Petersburg, based on European designs. He brought in European advisors and specialists, set up schools to teach technical subjects, and established an Academy of Sciences to promote new learning. Under his rule, Russia built factories and roads and established a professional army and civil service on the European model. The government required officials to dress in the Western style and to shave off their beards. So we're going to pause here, and you're going to write something about how the culture was in Russia at this time of Peter. What changed about life during that time? Pause and add something to your paper now. This is our last informational slide, and I see that I will just be filling out my paper, and I'm going to be listening for social information, so information about people or groups of people. By the time of Catherine's reign, this was his wife, Russia faced a looming crisis that would eventually bring down the czars. For more than a century, 100 years, Russia's serf or peasant population had been growing. There were about 10 million serfs during Catherine's rule. Initially, or in the beginning, serfs had some rights, but as landowners gained power, serfs lost what little they did have. Ultimately, they had no rights and lived in terrible poverty, or being poor. By the mid-1700s, they were regarded as property. Those who worked in industry were treated like machinery that belonged to a business. Some serfs revolted, but their uprisings were brutally repressed. Although Russia was taking steps to modernize, its social system was still mired in the past. Russia was the last European country to outlaw serfdom in 1861, and by then it was too late. In 1917, a revolution erupted and brought an end to the Russian monarchy as a result. So I'm thinking of specifically certain groups of people, or a certain group of people who is mentioned in each of the paragraphs here. So tell me about that population, at least one fact. Pause and do that now. Here's our last slide that says stop, and did you fill in this chart? We didn't have anything for isolation in this chapter, and we also did not have anything for economic. So you can go ahead and put an X in economic as well, or just leave that one blank. Make sure you filled out the rest of the boxes here, and then select the option here on the Pear Deck. As always, if you have questions, please be sure to check with your teacher. Good luck!